welcome. I am so glad you have chosen to take this time for yourself, to pause, to breathe, and to open your heart to healing. This is a sacred moment, a space where you can set aside the noise of the world and the endless to-do lists and simply be present with yourself. No expectations, no judgment, just you, your breath, and the gentle invitation to begin a journey toward peace and self-love. Healing the heart is one of the most profound and transformative journeys we can undertake. It is not about fixing something broken, because the heart is whole by nature. Rather, it is about releasing the pain, the heaviness, and the old stories that weigh it down. It's about clearing space for tenderness, for kindness, and for a deep sense of belonging, not to others, but to yourself. Over the next 3 hours, we will explore timeless wisdom from the Buddhist tradition, a tradition rich with tools, teachings, and practices designed to help us heal emotional wounds and awaken the natural compassion within us. You will be gently guided through reflections, meditations, and stories that touch the heart directly, beyond intellectual understanding, beyond the surface. This journey is about cultivating inner peace, a peacefulness that remains even when life is difficult. It is about nurturing self-love, the kind of love that is patient, gentle, and unwavering. Self-love that frees you from self-criticism, from harsh judgments, from the endless striving for perfection. This kind of love lets you rest into the truth that you are enough exactly as you are. Why is healing the heart so essential? Because the heart is where we experience the deepest joys and the deepest sorrows. When the heart carries unresolved pain, it colors every moment of our lives. It can make us close off, protect ourselves with walls, or react with fear and anger. Healing does not mean we erase our pain. It means we meet it with courage and compassion. It means we let the heart soften and open again. When the heart heals, we find a wellspring of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. We find the strength to forgive others, but especially ourselves. We find clarity to make choices that support our well-being, and we begin to live with more joy, more connection, and more freedom. This process takes time, patience, and kindness, but it is possible for everyone. You don't need to have fixed yourself or be a spiritual expert. Healing is simply the natural unfolding that happens when we give ourselves the care and attention we deserve. So now, I invite you to prepare yourself. Find a comfortable seat or lie down. Let your hands rest softly, and when you're ready, gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly release it through your mouth. Let your body begin to relax. Allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. Notice any tension or tightness you may be carrying, and with each exhale, imagine that tension melting away. Feel the support beneath you, the chair, the floor, the earth holding you securely. If your mind begins to wander, that is completely natural. Gently bring your attention back to your breath, back to this moment of stillness. This is your time, your space to heal. As we move through this series, remember that healing is a personal journey. You are free to go at your own pace. You can revisit any segment again whenever you wish. There is no rush, no pressure. Throughout these hours, you will hear Buddhist teachings not just as ideas, but as gentle invitations to experience the heart of those teachings within yourself. We will explore mindfulness, loving kindness, compassion, forgiveness, and much more. Each practice a step toward opening your heart wider. Let your intention be simple: to listen deeply to yourself, to hold your feelings with tenderness, and to allow space for healing to begin. Remember, healing does not mean perfection. It means acceptance. It means seeing your humanity, your struggles, your beauty, and honoring all of it with kindness. Before we begin, take another slow, deep breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the life moving through you. Thank yourself for showing up here today, for choosing to care for your heart. This is the beginning of a beautiful journey. Let's begin together. Understanding these wounds is the first step toward true healing. Not to judge or resist what we feel, but to meet it with clarity and compassion. Emotional pain is something every human experiences. It can come from loss, disappointment, rejection, loneliness, or unmet expectations. Sometimes the wounds are fresh and raw, like a recent heartbreak or grief. Other times they are old scars, the echo of childhood wounds, moments when we felt unseen, unheard, or unloved. In Buddhism, emotional pain is recognized as part of the human condition. It is part of what the Buddha called dukkha, often translated as suffering, dissatisfaction, or stress. But dukkha is not just suffering in a tragic sense. It is the natural experience of life's ups and downs, the discomfort we feel. When things do not go as we wish, the Buddha taught that this pain arises because of attachment and clinging. We crave pleasure, security, love, and certainty. When these are threatened or lost, pain arises. This is the root cause of suffering. But here is an important truth: suffering itself is not permanent. It changes, it shifts, it flows like the seasons or the ocean waves. Just as joyful moments arise and fade, so too does pain. This understanding of impermanence is one of Buddhism's most powerful tools for healing. When we begin to see that our emotional wounds, as painful as they may be, are not fixed or eternal, we open a doorway to hope and transformation. Imagine holding a wounded bird in your hands. You can feel its fluttering, its pain, but if you watch carefully, you might see the bird's heartbeat steady, its wings rest, and eventually it begins to heal. The wound is real, but it does not define the bird. The same is true for our hearts. Our wounds may shape us. Sometimes those wounds become stories we tell ourselves. I am not worthy, I am unlovable, or I must protect myself at all costs. These stories can harden into barriers that keep us stuck, but the wounds do not have to define us. They are part of our experience, yes, but not the whole story. The essence of who you are is far greater than any hurt or limitation. In fact, the very act of feeling pain reveals a heart that is alive, capable of love, and capable of healing. In Buddhist teachings, this is known as the Buddha nature, the innate potential for awakening and compassion that exists within every being. No wound is too deep, no pain too great to prevent this nature from shining through. Understanding this shifts how we relate to our wounds. Instead of resisting or denying them, we begin to see them as teachers. They show us where we need care, where our heart longs to be heard, and to develop resilience. This is why healing begins with awareness. Seeing clearly the nature of our pain without adding layers of judgment or blame. It is an invitation to meet ourselves where we are, with honesty and gentleness. Let's take a moment now to bring awareness to your own heart. Without forcing or analyzing, simply notice if there is any pain or tension present. It might be a sadness, an ache, or even a dullness. Whatever arises, allow it to be there without pushing it away. As you observe this pain, remind yourself this feeling is impermanent. It will change. It does not define you. With each breath, imagine softening around the pain, creating space for it to be acknowledged. Imagine your heart opening just enough to hold this wound with kindness. This practice of compassionate presence is the foundation for healing. It creates a safe inner environment where the heart's pain can be soothed and gradually transformed over time. As you deepen this awareness, you may find that what once felt overwhelming becomes more manageable. The sharp edges dull, and a sense of peace begins to emerge beneath the surface. It is important to remember that healing is not linear. Some days may feel lighter, others heavier. This is natural. The heart is like the ocean, with tides that ebb and flow. Buddhism encourages us to embrace this flow rather than resist it, to allow ourselves to feel fully without being swept away, to cultivate equanimity, a balanced mind that remains steady amidst life's changing currents. Another aspect to consider is how our wounds often affect how we relate to ourselves and others. Pain can create patterns of fear, mistrust, or withdrawal. It can make us guard our hearts or lash out in defense. Recognizing these patterns without judgment is another step toward freedom. We can learn to respond differently with awareness and compassion rather than react out of old habits. Through this process is the path the Buddha walked, and the path that is available to all of us. To close this segment, let's take a few moments in meditation. Bring your attention to the heart center, the place in your chest where you feel warmth or openness. If it feels heavy or tight, simply notice that sensation without trying to change it. If it feels soft or light, rest in that feeling. Breathe gently into your heart space, inviting ease and kindness with each inhale. Let go of any resistance with each exhale. Allow yourself to be present with whatever is here. The wounds. Your heart is capable of healing, of opening, of love. Thank you for bringing your attention here. In the next segment, we will explore how the Four Noble Truths offer a guide for moving through suffering toward healing and peace. Take your time to come back gently. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, open your eyes. In this segment, we will explore one of the most foundational teachings of Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths, and how they relate directly to healing emotional pain and opening the heart to peace and self-love. The Four Noble Truths are often called the Buddha's first teaching because they clearly outline the reality of suffering and the path beyond it. Although these truths were taught over 2,500 years ago, their wisdom remains profoundly relevant for anyone seeking to heal the wounds of the heart. Let's begin by briefly describing the Four Noble Truths. The truth of suffering, known as dukkha, the truth of the origin of suffering, its causes, the truth of the cessation of suffering, the possibility of healing, the truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering, the way forward. Let's explore each truth and how it applies to emotional healing. The first noble truth, recognizing suffering, dukkha, The word dukkha is often translated as suffering, dissatisfaction, or stress. But it is important to understand that dukkha does not mean suffering in a purely tragic sense. It is a broader term encompassing the inherent unsatisfactoriness of life when we cling to things that are impermanent. When we talk about emotional pain, dukkha refers to the feelings of hurt, sadness, fear, loneliness, and anxiety that arise within the heart. It also includes the frustration and dissatisfaction we feel when things are not the way we want, when relationships fail, when we face rejection or loss, or when we struggle with self-doubt. The Buddha teaches that recognizing the reality of suffering is the first step toward healing. This means acknowledging the pain in our hearts honestly, without avoidance or denial. If you have been carrying emotional wounds, you might have tried to push them aside or distract yourself. This is natural, but in the long term, denial often causes wounds to fester. The Four Noble Truths invite us to look deeply and acknowledge the pain as part of our experience, without fear, without shame. By fully seeing our suffering, we begin to understand it better. And this understanding opens the door to healing. The second noble truth, understanding the causes of suffering. The Buddha identified the causes of suffering as craving, attachment, and ignorance. We crave pleasure, security, love, and validation. We cling to people, ideas, and feelings, wishing they would remain permanent and unchanged. But the heart longs for permanence in a world that is always changing. This clash between desire and reality creates pain. Ignorance means not seeing clearly the true nature of things, that everything is impermanent, interconnected, and changing. When we cling to an idea of ourselves, I am unworthy, or I must be perfect to be loved, we set ourselves up for suffering. These false beliefs create barriers that keep us locked in pain. In terms of emotional wounds, the causes often lie in patterns of attachment and aversion. We might cling to a past relationship or a lost opportunity, unable to let go. Or we might resist feelings of sadness or anger, pushing them down until they erupt. Understanding these causes is essential because it shows us where our healing work needs to focus. Learning to loosen the grip of attachment, to see things more clearly, and to cultivate acceptance. The third noble truth, the possibility of healing. The most hopeful teaching of the Four Noble Truths is that healing is possible. The cessation of suffering, known as nirvana, means that the heart's pain is not permanent. It means that through understanding and practice, we can free ourselves from the patterns that cause suffering. This truth assures us that the wounds of the heart can be soothed. We can open to peace and self-love. Healing is not about erasing all difficulties or becoming perfect. It is about transforming our relationship to pain so it no longer controls us. This transformation is within reach for everyone, regardless of the depth of their wounds. The fourth noble truth, the path to healing, the path leading to the cessation of suffering, is called the Noble Eightfold Path. It is a practical guide to living with awareness, compassion, and wisdom. The Eightfold Path is divided into 3 parts: wisdom, pand, right view, right intention, ethical conduct, skla, right speech, right action, right livelihood, mental discipline, samdai, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration applied to emotional healing. The path offers concrete practices to support the heart's recovery. Right view and right intention. Right view means seeing reality clearly, including the nature of suffering and impermanence. It encourages us to understand that pain is part of life, but it does not define us. Right intention involves cultivating thoughts of kindness, renunciation of harmful patterns, and the desire to heal. Together, these form the foundation of healing. A mindset of openness and compassion, right speech, action, and livelihood. Right speech encourages gentle and truthful communication with others and ourselves. This includes the inner dialogue we have, moving from self-criticism to self-kindness. Right action involves behaving ethically, refraining from harm toward self and others, and acting in ways that support healing. Right livelihood means engaging in work and activities that do not cause harm and instead foster well-being. These ethical practices create a supportive environment for emotional growth. Right effort, mindfulness, and concentration. Right effort means cultivating wholesome states of mind and letting go of unwholesome ones. For healing, this involves making conscious choices to nurture kindness, patience, and understanding. Right mindfulness is the practice of being fully present with whatever arises, thoughts, emotions, or sensations, without judgment or resistance. Right concentration refers to the focused attention developed through meditation. This mental clarity allows us to see the heart's wounds without becoming overwhelmed. Together, these mental disciplines deepen our capacity to heal. Putting it all together, healing through awareness and practice. The Four Noble Truths give us both a map and a method. They help us recognize where we are stuck and point toward a way out. Healing the heart begins by acknowledging the pain. First truth, understanding its roots in attachment and false beliefs. Second truth, embracing the hope and possibility of freedom. Third truth, and following a path of mindful, compassionate practice. Fourth truth, this is not a quick fix, but a gradual unfolding. You might find that as you practice awareness and kindness toward yourself, the grip of painful emotions loosens. Old stories begin to lose their power. You might notice moments of peace arising, even amidst difficulty. This peace is your heart's natural state, waiting patiently to be rediscovered. Guided reflection. Let's take a moment now to reflect quietly on these truths. Find a comfortable posture and gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Recall a recent moment when you felt emotional pain. It might be sadness, frustration, loneliness, or fear. Without judgment, allow yourself to remember that feeling. Acknowledge the suffering. Say silently to yourself, "This is dukkha. This is pain I feel." Now gently ask yourself, what is the cause of this pain? What am I clinging to? What desire or expectation is unmet? Allow the answers to arise naturally. Next, hold the possibility of healing in your mind. Say to yourself, healing is possible. I am open to peace. Finally, set an intention to walk a path of awareness and kindness toward your heart. Say, I will practice patience and compassion with myself. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you for taking this time to connect with the Four Noble Truths and their application to your healing journey. In the next segment, we will explore the practice of mindfulness, one of the most powerful tools for emotional healing and opening the heart. Remember, Each step you take is a courageous act of self-love. We will explore a deeply transformative practice from the Buddhist tradition known as metta, or loving-kindness meditation. Loving-kindness meditation is a simple yet powerful way to cultivate warmth, compassion, and unconditional love. Starting with the person who often receives the least of these, yourself. Introduction to metta meditation. The word metta in Pali, the language the Buddha spoke, means loving kindness or goodwill. It is the wish for all beings to be happy, to be safe, and to be free from suffering. Metta meditation is a practice of intentionally generating and sending feelings of kindness and care, first to ourselves, then expanding outward to others. Many people think of loving kindness as something to offer to others, but the Buddhist teachings emphasize beginning with self-love, because our capacity to genuinely love and care for others grows from how we treat ourselves without a foundation of self-compassion. Our efforts to help or connect with others can become strained or even draining. Metta meditation helps heal the heart by gently turning our attention inward and replacing self-criticism, shame, or neglect with kindness, patience, and acceptance. Why self-love is the foundation for healing other self-love is not selfishness or arrogance. It is the recognition that you deserve care and compassion just as much as anyone else. When we love ourselves deeply, we cultivate an inner well of warmth and safety. Extend genuine love to others. Conversely, when we lack self-love, we may find it difficult to trust others or to receive kindness. Our hearts can become guarded or closed. Loving kindness toward ourselves breaks down these barriers. It invites us to accept our imperfections and struggles, to hold them tenderly instead of with harsh judgment. This acceptance allows healing to begin. As the Buddha said, we cannot pour from an empty cup. Only when our own cup is filled with kindness can we freely give to others. Guided loving kindness meditation focused on self-lets. Now enter into a guided metta meditation focused on cultivating loving kindness toward yourself. Find a comfortable position where your body can relax and your mind can be still. You may sit with your back straight but not rigid, or lie down if you prefer. Close your eyes gently or soften your gaze. Begin by taking a few deep breaths. Inhale slowly through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. Allow your body to settle into the space beneath you. Bring your awareness to your heart center, the place in the middle of your chest where you feel your heartbeat or warmth. Imagine this area as a sanctuary of kindness within you. As you breathe, begin silently repeating the following phrases, either out loud or in your mind. You can say the words slowly and with intention, allowing their meaning to resonate deeply. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. If these exact words don't feel right, feel free to adjust them to what resonates with you. The important thing is the feeling behind the phrases, the genuine wish for your well-being and peace. As you repeat these phrases, try to cultivate a warm sensation in your heart. Imagine your heart glowing softly, like a gentle light or a comforting flame with each breath. Let this loving kindness grow stronger and brighter. If any doubts or resistance arise, perhaps you feel unworthy or uncomfortable, gently acknowledge those feelings. Say to yourself, it's okay to feel this way. Loving myself is a process. Return your attention kindly to the phrases and the warmth in your heart. deepening the feeling of loving kindness. Now, expand this loving kindness to include any parts of yourself that may be hurting or difficult to love. Perhaps you carry regrets, mistakes, or wounds that make self-love feel challenging. Visualize these parts of yourself sitting before you. Imagine offering them the same kindness and care you would give a dear friend who is suffering. Say silently, "May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healed. May you be at peace." Feel the unconditional nature of this kindness. It does not depend on perfection or achievement. It simply wishes for your well-being as you are right now. Allow the warmth of metta to touch these vulnerable parts of yourself. Let your heart soften and open in their direction, allowing loving kindness to sink deep. Take a few moments now to sit quietly with this feeling of loving kindness. Feel it radiating through your chest, spreading through your body. Feel the gentle acceptance, the deep care. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the phrases and the warmth in your heart. Know that by practicing metta regularly, you are rewiring your heart to respond with kindness instead of self-criticism. You are planting seeds of compassion that will grow and blossom over time. Closing the meditation when you feel ready. Slowly bring your awareness back to the room. Notice the sensations of your body in the chair or on the floor. Wiggle your fingers and toes gently. Take a deep, nourishing breath. Open your eyes softly. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up and offering this gift of loving kindness. Integrating loving kindness into daily life beyond formal meditation. Metta can be practiced anytime during your day. When you notice self-judgment arising, pause and breathe. Silently offer yourself a phrase of kindness. May I be kind to myself, or may I treat myself with compassion. When life feels hard, remind yourself that you deserve love and care, just like anyone else. Over time, these moments build a foundation of self-love that supports healing and resilience. Reflection. Remember, self-love is a practice, not a destination. There may be days when loving yourself feels easy and natural, and others when it feels difficult or distant. Both are part of the journey. The key is to keep returning to this intention with patience and gentleness. Your heart is learning to trust in its own goodness. Thank you for sharing this time to nurture loving kindness toward yourself. In the next segment, we will explore how cultivating compassion, both for ourselves and others, deepens our healing and connection. So far, we've explored the nature of emotional wounds and how the Four Noble Truths offer a clear path toward healing. Now, we arrive at one of the most powerful tools available to us: mindfulness. Mindfulness is a word you may have heard often, but what does it truly mean? And how can it help us heal the deepest wounds of the heart? Simply put, mindfulness is the practice of paying attention deliberately and without judgment to what is happening right now in the present moment. It is the art of being fully awake to our experience without getting lost in the stories, worries, or distractions of the mind. Mindfulness is not about trying to change anything, fix something, or escape from discomfort. It is about meeting life exactly as it is, moment by moment. This may sound simple, but it is a skill that requires patience and gentle practice, and it is the gateway to healing. What mindfulness is and is not. Mindfulness is often misunderstood. It is not a way to push away or numb pain. It is not a way to become emotionless or detached. Instead, mindfulness invites us to open to our experience, even the painful parts, with curiosity and kindness. Imagine you are holding a fragile, wounded bird in your hands. Mindfulness teaches you to hold that bird gently and carefully, without squeezing it or throwing it away. You observe its breaths, its movements, its pain, without trying to control or fix it. This way of being allows the wound to breathe, to exist safely, and eventually to heal. How mindfulness helps observe pain without judgment. When emotional pain arises, sadness, anger, loneliness, or fear, our natural reaction may be to push it away or fight it. We might tell ourselves, "I shouldn't feel this way," or "this is too much to handle." Sometimes we try to distract ourselves with busyness, or we get caught in repetitive thoughts about the pain. Mindfulness offers a different approach. It encourages us to pause, breathe, and bring gentle attention to the pain itself. By observing pain without judgment, we create space between ourselves and our suffering. This space is critical. It allows us to see our feelings clearly, rather than being overwhelmed or swallowed by them. When we stop resisting pain, it often becomes less intense. It loses some of its power over us. Through mindfulness, we learn that feelings are temporary visitors, not permanent fixtures. This awareness reduces suffering by breaking the cycle of avoidance and resistance. We begin to understand that pain is not the enemy, it is a part of being human, a signal that something in the heart needs attention. Mindfulness as a practice of self-compassion. Importantly, mindfulness is not only about observation, but also about compassion. When we notice pain with kindness, we treat ourselves as we would a dear friend who is hurting. Instead of criticism or blame, we offer acceptance and care. This compassionate stance softens the heart, allowing healing to take root. It reminds us that it is okay to be vulnerable, to feel deeply, and to take the time needed to recover. Guided mindfulness exercise. Focusing on the heart area now. Let's practice a simple mindfulness exercise focused on the heart. Find a comfortable seat, allowing your body to relax but remain alert. You may close your eyes or soften your gaze toward the floor. Begin by taking a few deep breaths, inhaling slowly through your nose and exhaling gently through your mouth. Feel your body settle into the space beneath you. Bring your awareness to the area around your heart, the center of your chest. Notice any sensations present here: warmth, tightness, pressure, lightness, or even numbness. You may feel nothing at all. That is perfectly okay. Simply observe whatever is here without trying to change it. If emotions arise, sadness, tenderness, discomfort, allow them to be present. Imagine your breath flowing gently in and out through your heart space. With each inhale, invite a sense of openness and ease. With each exhale, imagine releasing tension or heaviness. If your mind wanders, gently guide your attention back to the heart area. There is no need to force your focus. Just return softly and patiently as you continue to breathe. Imagine your heart surrounded by a gentle, warm light. This light represents kindness and acceptance. Allow it to fill your heart space, nurturing whatever pain or tension may be present. If difficult feelings arise, try to meet them with curiosity instead of fear. Ask yourself silently, what is here right now? What does my heart need? Hold these feelings as you would a delicate flower. With tenderness and care, spend several minutes breathing with your heart, offering this loving presence. When you feel ready, slowly expand your awareness back to your whole body. Notice how your body feels overall. Any shifts in tension or ease. Bring your attention to the sounds around you, the sensations of sitting. Take a final deep breath in and exhale fully. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Reflections on mindfulness practice. As you practice mindfulness regularly, you may begin to notice subtle changes. The heart's pain may become less overwhelming. You may develop a new relationship with difficult emotions, one of acceptance rather than resistance. You might find moments of peace and softness emerging, even in challenging times. Remember, mindfulness is a lifelong practice, not a quick fix. It requires patience, kindness, and commitment. Even a few minutes a day can have profound effects. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life beyond formal meditation. Mindfulness can be practiced throughout the day. When you notice tension or emotional discomfort, pause for a breath. Bring gentle awareness to your feelings and body sensations. Avoid judging yourself for what arises. Practice curiosity. What is happening right now? How is my heart feeling? This simple act of presence can transform how you relate to emotional pain. It creates a habit of self-care and compassion that supports healing. Closing invitation. In closing this segment, I invite you to carry mindfulness with you as a friend and guide on your healing journey. Remember, mindfulness is the bridge between suffering and peace. It opens the door for your heart to be seen, heard, and loved, starting with your own love and acceptance. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me. When you are ready, slowly bring your attention back to your surroundings. Gently stretch your fingers and toes and open your eyes, carrying with you a seed of mindful awareness. Buddhist practice of compassion, known as karuna, and how it serves as a healing balm for our inner struggles. The role of compassion in Buddhism. Compassion, or karuna, is one of the 4 sublime states in Buddhism, alongside loving kindness, metta, sympathetic joy, mudita, and equanimity, upekkha. It is the heartfelt desire to alleviate the suffering of all beings, including ourselves. In Buddhist teachings, compassion is not a passive feeling. It is an active quality, a call to respond to pain with kindness and care. Compassion arises naturally when we recognize the shared experience of suffering that connects all beings. It dissolves separation and opens us to empathy, understanding, and a willingness to help. Many people instinctively extend compassion outward toward friends, family, strangers, or even animals. But Buddhism teaches that compassion must also be turned inward toward ourselves. Turning compassion inward, forgiving ourselves. Why is turning compassion inward so important? Often we are our own harshest critics or weaknesses. It's easy to fall into cycles of self-blame, shame, and guilt. This inner harshness deepens our suffering and blocks healing. It creates an environment of judgment where the heart feels unsafe and closed. Compassion toward ourselves means recognizing our shared humanity, that we all struggle, we all make mistakes, and we all deserve kindness. It means allowing ourselves to be imperfect and vulnerable without condemnation. In Buddhist practice, self-compassion is the foundation for forgiveness. It is through compassion that we can forgive ourselves for past actions, for perceived failures, and for the ways we may have hurt ourselves or others. Forgiving ourselves is not about excusing harmful behavior, but about freeing our hearts from the heavy chains of guilt and regret. It is about opening space for growth, learning, and peace. Reflective story about self-compassion. Let me share a story that illustrates the power of self-compassion. There was once a young woman named Maya. Throughout her life, Maya had been very hard on herself. Sense of not being good enough. She judged her mistakes harshly and believed she was unworthy of love or kindness. One day, after a particularly difficult mistake at work, Maya felt overwhelmed by shame. She wanted to hide and punish herself, feeling lost. She turned to meditation and Buddhist teachings for guidance. During a meditation on compassion, she visualized herself as a small child, vulnerable, scared, and deserving of care. She imagined holding this child gently in her arms and whispering kind words. "You are enough. You are loved. It's okay to make mistakes." At first, Maya felt resistance. Her inner critic protested, saying she didn't deserve such kindness. But she continued practicing, returning again and again to this compassionate presence. Slowly, the harshness inside her began to soften. She started to see her struggles as part of being human, not as personal failures. With patience, Maya forgave herself. This forgiveness freed her heart from heavy burdens. Over time, Maya's self-compassion grew stronger. She found she could treat herself with the same kindness she offered to friends. And as her inner kindness blossomed, so too did her capacity to love others more fully. Practicing compassion for your own inner struggles, you, too, can cultivate this gentle compassion toward yourself. Begin by acknowledging the struggles you carry inside, the fears, regrets, pain, or doubts. Instead of turning away or criticizing yourself, pause to offer kindness. You might say silently, "May I be free from suffering. May I be gentle with myself." Imagine wrapping your heart in a warm embrace of care. If negative self-talk arises, recognize it without judgment. Gently return to your intention of compassion. Remember, compassion is a practice. It may feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable at first, especially if you have been self-critical for a long time. Be patient. Keep returning. Each small moment of kindness toward yourself is a step toward healing. Compassion and forgiveness are lifelong practices. Compassion and forgiveness are not one-time events, but ongoing journeys. There will be days when self-doubt or harshness creep back in. When this happens, simply notice without shame. Bring back your compassionate attention as often as you need. Over time, these practices create a resilient heart, one that can face life's challenges with courage and care. Guided reflection. Take a moment to practice a brief reflection on compassion for our inner struggles. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring your awareness to your heart. Recall a recent moment, a struggle, self-criticism, or pain. Allow yourself to feel that experience without pushing it away now. Place your hand over your heart if that feels comforting. Silently or softly say to yourself, "May I be kind to myself in this moment. May I accept myself as I am. May I forgive myself for my mistakes. May I be at peace." Breathe gently as you repeat these phrases. If other feelings arise, acknowledge them with compassion. Sit with this kindness for a few breaths. When you feel ready, slowly open your eyes. Closing thoughts, compassion for our inner struggles transforms how we relate to ourselves and the world. It softens judgment, heals wounds, and opens the heart to love. By turning compassion inward, you take a vital step toward healing and peace. Thank you for dedicating this time to nurture your heart. In the next segment, we will explore letting go of resentment and anger, powerful practices that further release the heart from pain. Resentment and anger are natural human emotions. They arise when we feel hurt, wronged, or treated unfairly. At their core, these feelings are a response to pain. They can feel powerful and justified, often fueling a sense of righteous indignation or self-protection. However, when resentment and anger linger unchecked, they become a poison in the heart. They consume our energy, distort our perceptions, and create inner turmoil. They act like chains, binding us to past hurts and preventing us from experiencing peace and freedom. In Buddhist teachings, anger is seen as one of the three poisons, along with greed and ignorance, that cloud the mind and keep us trapped in suffering. But Buddhism also offers profound wisdom and practical techniques to transform these powerful emotions into understanding, compassion, and release. Understanding the poison of anger and resentment often feel justified. When someone has hurt us deeply, it is natural to feel upset. These feelings serve a protective purpose. They alert us to harm and motivate us to set boundaries or seek justice. However, the poison lies in clinging to anger when it festers and turns inward or outward destructively. Resentment is like carrying a heavy burden. We replay the painful event over and over in our minds, fueling bitterness and sometimes even a desire for revenge. This prolonged state affects not only our mental health but also our physical well-being. Chronic anger is linked to stress, high blood pressure, and weakened immune function. Spiritually, anger clouds the heart and blocks love, kindness, and forgiveness. By holding on to resentment, we keep ourselves tethered to the past, unable to fully embrace the present or move forward. Buddhist techniques for releasing resentment. The Buddha taught that true freedom comes from recognizing the nature of anger and choosing not to feed it. Here are some key Buddhist-inspired techniques to begin releasing resentment. Mindful awareness of anger. The first step is to notice anger as it arises without immediately reacting. This means observing sensations in the body, tightness, heat, or tension, and the thoughts that accompany anger. Mindfulness creates space between feeling and reaction. This space allows us to respond consciously rather than impulsively. Understanding the root causes, anger often masks deeper feelings such as hurt, fear, or disappointment. By exploring these underlying emotions with curiosity, we can begin to soften the anger's grip. For example, ask yourself, what pain am I protecting with this anger? What need is unmet? Practicing loving kindness, meta-directing loving kindness, first toward yourself and then toward those who have hurt you, can dissolve hostility. Repeat phrases silently. May I be free from anger. May you be free from anger. This cultivates empathy and reduces resentment. Reflection on impermanence and interconnection. Remembering that all things, including people, feelings, and situations, are impermanent, helps us loosen attachment to anger. Reflect on the interconnected nature of beings, realizing that everyone acts from their own suffering and ignorance. Forgiveness as liberation. Forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful actions. It is a conscious choice to release yourself from the bondage of resentment. Forgiving is a gift you give your own heart, a path to peace. Guided reflection on forgiveness now. Let's engage in a guided reflection to begin the process of releasing resentment and opening the heart to forgiveness. Find a comfortable seated position. Allow your spine to be straight but relaxed. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few deep breaths, feeling your body settle. Bring to mind a situation or person that has caused you pain or anger. Allow yourself to feel the emotions that arise without pushing them away. Notice any sensations in your body: tightness, heat, heaviness. Silently acknowledge, I feel anger and pain. Now, gently ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What is this anger protecting? Allow insights to arise without judgment. Bring your attention to your heart center. Imagine a soft, warm light glowing there with each breath. Let this light expand, filling your chest with warmth. Silently repeat to yourself, may I find peace. May I release this anger. May I be free from resentment. May I be gentle with myself. Next, if you feel ready, bring to mind the person or situation connected to your anger. See them as a fellow human being, imperfect and struggling, just like you. Silently say, may you be free from suffering. May you be at peace. Recognize that both you and this other person deserve freedom from pain. Feel the heaviness in your heart begin to lighten. Allow forgiveness as an act of self-liberation to take root. Sit for a few moments with this feeling of release and openness. When you are ready, slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a final deep breath. Open your eyes gently, closing thoughts. Letting go of resentment and anger is not easy, and it is not always quick. It takes courage to face these difficult emotions and patience to release their hold. But the reward is profound. A heart freed from bitterness, a mind open to peace, and a life lived with greater joy and compassion. Remember, forgiveness is for your own healing. It does not require forgetting or excusing harm. It is a gift you give yourself, the gift of freedom as you continue on this path. Return often to mindfulness, loving kindness, and reflection. These tools will support you in transforming anger into understanding and resentment into release. Thank you for dedicating this time to your healing. In the next segment, we will explore how embracing impermanence softens attachment and opens the heart to freedom. We will explore a fundamental and transformative insight at the heart of Buddhist teaching: impermanence, understanding and embracing impermanence. The fact that all things, including our relationships and emotions, are in constant change, can profoundly soften our attachments and ease our suffering. How impermanence helps soften attachment. Attachment is a natural part of being human. We form bonds with people, ideas, experiences, and feelings because they bring us comfort, joy, and meaning. Yet, attachment often leads to suffering because it is rooted in the mistaken belief that these things are permanent, that they will last forever and never change. We cling to a relationship, wishing it to stay just as it is, We hold tightly to emotions, wanting happiness to never fade or pain to disappear instantly. But life is a continuous flow. Change is the only constant. This truth is what the Buddha called anicca, or impermanence. When we recognize this, it helps loosen the grip of attachment. We begin to see relationships and emotions not as fixed possessions, but as dynamic, evolving experiences. This understanding opens space for acceptance and peace, even when things shift or end. Recognizing emotions as transient emotions can be intense and overwhelming at times. Joy feels boundless. At others, sorrow feels all-consuming. But all emotions, happiness, anger, fear, love, grief, are temporary. They arise, linger for a while, and then pass away. Recognizing emotions as transient helps us avoid identifying ourselves with them too closely. When a difficult emotion arises, rather than saying, "I am sad," mindfulness invites us to say, "Sadness is here." This subtle shift creates distance and perspective. It helps prevent us from being swept away by feelings or reacting impulsively. Instead, we learn to observe emotions like clouds moving across the sky, temporary visitors that come and go. This awareness nurtures equanimity, a balanced mind that can hold joy and sorrow with equal openness. Visualization practice to observe feelings passing now. Let's practice a visualization to deepen this understanding of impermanence. Find a comfortable seated position. Allow your body to relax, your spine to be upright but gentle. Close your eyes softly or lower your gaze. Begin by taking a few deep breaths. Feel the breath moving in and out, anchoring you in the present moment. Bring your awareness to any emotion you are currently experiencing. It might be joy, sadness, anxiety, or peace, whatever is present. Allow yourself to feel this emotion fully. Notice where you feel it in your body. Perhaps a warmth in your chest, a tightness in your throat, or a flutter in your stomach. Without trying to change the feeling, simply observe it. Now, imagine this emotion as a small cloud floating in the sky. See its shape, its color, and its movement. Notice how it drifts slowly, carried by the wind. Sometimes it thickens, sometimes it thins, sometimes it disappears entirely. Watch the cloud's journey without holding on to it. Allow it to flow naturally, without interference. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the image of the cloud and your breath. Now, expand this visualization to include other feelings that may arise. Visualize them as clouds, each unique and temporary. Some may pass quickly, others linger longer. Remember, all clouds eventually dissolve into the vast sky. Your mind is like this sky, vast, open, and spacious. Emotions come and go, but the sky remains. Sit quietly for a few moments in this awareness. When you feel ready, slowly bring your attention back to your body. Feel your connection to the earth beneath you. Take a final deep breath and open your eyes gently. Reflections on impermanence. As you continue to practice this awareness, you may notice that your relationship with your emotions shifts. You become less reactive and more accepting. You see that pain, like joy, is temporary and will change with time. This insight can be especially powerful in relationships. People grow, change, and sometimes drift apart. Embracing impermanence helps us cherish the present moment without clinging to expectations. It softens grief by reminding us that change is natural. It encourages gratitude for the time and love we have, even if it cannot last forever. Applying impermanence to relationships' permanence does not mean detachment in a cold or uncaring way. Rather, it invites us to love deeply while accepting that all connections evolve. This perspective allows us to be fully present with others, appreciating their uniqueness without trying to possess or control. It opens us to forgiveness when misunderstandings arise. It frees us from the pain of clinging and opens our hearts to new possibilities. Closing invitation. Embracing impermanence is a practice, one that unfolds gradually. Return often to the visualization of emotions as passing clouds. Let this awareness guide you in relationships and in your inner world. Know that peace grows when we align with the natural flow of life. Thank you for dedicating this time to deepen your understanding and compassion. In the next segment, we will explore the power of the breath as an anchor for emotional healing and calm. We will focus on one of the simplest yet most profound tools we have to bring calm and balance to our emotional life: the breath. The breath is always with us. It is a natural rhythm that connects our body, mind, and heart. When we learn to use the breath mindfully, it becomes an anchor to peace amid life's storms. Breath as an anchor to peace. Breathing is automatic. It happens without us needing to think. Yet the quality of our breath directly influences how we feel. When we are anxious, angry, or stressed, our breath tends to become shallow, rapid, or irregular. When we are calm and peaceful, our breath is slow, deep, and steady. This close connection means that by simply shifting our breath, we can influence our emotional state. In Buddhist teachings, mindful breathing is foundational. The Buddha instructed his disciples to use the breath as a primary object of meditation, a steady point of focus that grounds us in the present moment. Using the breath as an anchor allows us to step back from racing thoughts, intense emotions, or overwhelming sensations. It creates a safe inner space where the heart can settle, no matter what is happening around or within us. The breath is always accessible, a steady companion guiding us back to calm. Basic breathing exercises for emotional regulation. Let's explore some simple breathing exercises that can help regulate emotions and soothe the heart. Natural awareness of breath. Begin by simply noticing your breath without trying to change it. Observe the inhale and exhale as they naturally occur. Notice the coolness of the air entering your nostrils, the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen, and the gentle flow out. This practice cultivates mindfulness and brings your attention into the present. Deep belly breathing. Place one hand on your belly and the other on your chest. Inhale deeply through your nose, allowing your belly to expand like a balloon. Exhale slowly through your mouth, letting your belly soften. This type of breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body and mind. Counted breathing. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and pause for a count of 4 before the next inhale. This rhythmical breathing balances the nervous system and creates a sense of stability. Breath with affirmation. Combine your breath with gentle affirmations, such as inhaling, "I am calm," and exhaling, "I am at peace." This integrates mindfulness with intention and self-compassion. These exercises can be done anywhere, anytime. Whenever you notice tension, stress, or emotional unrest, guided deep breathing meditation. Now, let's practice a guided deep breathing meditation together to calm the heart and cultivate peace. Find a comfortable seated position. Let your spine be straight but relaxed. Close your eyes softly or lower your gaze. Take a moment to settle into your body. Feel the support beneath you. Begin by taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold for a moment at the top of the inhale. Exhale fully and slowly through your mouth. Take another deep, cleansing breath. Feel your body begin to relax with each exhale. Now, allow your breath to settle into its natural rhythm. Bring your attention to the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your nostrils. Notice the coolness as you inhale, the warmth as you exhale. If your mind wanders, gently bring your focus back to your breath. Now, shift your awareness to your belly as you inhale. Feel your belly expand gently, like a soft balloon filling with air. As you exhale, feel your belly soften and draw inward. Continue this deep belly breathing. With each inhale, imagine you are drawing in calm and peace. With each exhale, imagine releasing tension, worry, or heaviness. Inhale, calm. Exhale, release. Inhale, peace. Exhale. Let go as you continue. Allow any emotions or thoughts to come and go without resistance. Return your attention again and again to your breath and the sensations it creates. Feel the rhythm of your breath soothing your heart. Now, bring to mind a sense of warmth or lightness in your chest. Imagine your breath carrying this warmth deeper into your heart with every inhale. This warmth grows with every exhale. It spreads through your body. Allow yourself to rest in this peaceful sensation. Take a few more deep, slow breaths here. When you are ready, gently bring your awareness back to your body. Feel your connection to the surface supporting you. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take one last deep breath and slowly open your eyes. Integrating breath awareness into daily life, the power of mindful breathing extends beyond meditation. Throughout your day, whenever you feel overwhelmed or disconnected, pause. Take 3 conscious breaths. Use your breath as an anchor to return to presence and calm. Over time, this practice rewires your nervous system, making it easier to navigate emotional challenges. You may notice increased clarity, reduced anxiety, and a deeper sense of peace. Closing invitation. Remember, the breath is always with you, a constant source of calm and connection. By tuning into your breath, you cultivate a quiet sanctuary inside your heart. No matter the external circumstances, thank you for sharing this time to nurture your breath and your heart. In the next segment, we will explore the importance of cultivating patience during healing. Healing, whether emotional, physical, or spiritual, is rarely quick or straightforward. It unfolds in its own time, in rhythms often beyond our control. Cultivating patience allows us to embrace this process gently, with kindness toward ourselves, and with trust in the natural flow of growth and recovery. Patience as a virtue in Buddhism. In Buddhist teachings, patience is considered one of the highest virtues, known in Pali as khanti. It is not merely the ability to wait, but the strength to endure difficulty without becoming overwhelmed by frustration, anger, or despair. Patience is a form of inner resilience. It means accepting life's challenges and our own imperfections without harsh judgment. It is a quiet power that holds space for change and transformation. The Buddha emphasized patience as a vital quality for liberation from suffering. When we become impatient, whether with ourselves or others, we generate additional mental turmoil. This turbulence clouds our clarity and deepens our pain. On the other hand, patience softens the heart. It opens the way for understanding, compassion, and healing to take root. Stories of healing that took time throughout history. Many stories illustrate the power of patience in healing. One such story is that of Kisa Gautami, a woman from the Buddha's time. Kisa Gautami experienced the unbearable grief of losing her only child. Devastated and desperate, she sought the Buddha's help. The Buddha told her to bring him a mustard seed from a household where no one had died. Kisa Gautami went from house to house, only to discover that every family had faced loss and grief. This experience taught her the universality of suffering, but more importantly, it marked the beginning of her healing journey that required immense patience and acceptance of impermanence. Over time, through mindfulness and compassion, Kisa Gautami transformed her grief and eventually became a revered practitioner. Her story reminds us that healing is often gradual and that patience is the bridge between despair and peace. Encouragement to honor your own pace. Healing is deeply personal. No two paths are identical. What works for one person may not for another, and the pace at which healing unfolds varies widely. You may sometimes feel discouraged by setbacks or slow progress. You may compare yourself to others or to an ideal timeline, but the truth is, your healing pace is perfect because it is your own honor. Where you are right now, without rushing or forcing change, celebrate even the smallest steps forward. Each breath, each moment of self-kindness, each effort to face your emotions is meaningful. Patience teaches us to trust this process, to know that growth happens beneath the surface, even when we cannot see it immediately. Practical ways to cultivate patience. Here are some practical ways to cultivate patience during your healing journey. Mindful observation of impatience. When you notice feelings of frustration or impatience arising, pause and observe them mindfully. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What is causing this urge to rush? Simply acknowledging impatience without judgment reduces its power. Breath as a calming anchor. Use your breath to soothe restlessness. Slow, deep breaths can help settle the mind and body, creating space for patience. Affirmations of patience. Repeat gentle affirmations such as, I allow myself to heal in my own time, or patience is a gift I give myself. Embracing the present moment. Shift your focus from the future, worrying about how long healing will take, to the present moment. Find small joys and moments of peace here and now. Self-compassion practices. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend who is struggling. Offer kindness and encouragement rather than criticism. Guided reflection. Cultivating patience. Now, let's take a moment to cultivate patience through a gentle reflection. Find a comfortable seat. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Bring your awareness to any area of your body where you feel tension or discomfort. Allow yourself to acknowledge any feelings of impatience, frustration, or discouragement. Without trying to push these feelings away, invite patience to enter. Imagine patience as a soft, steady light beginning to glow within you. With each breath, feel this light expand, soothing your mind and heart. Silently repeat, "May I be patient with myself. May I accept my healing journey as it unfolds. May I trust in my own timing." Allow yourself to rest in this space of patience. Breathe gently when you feel ready. Slowly open your eyes. Closing thoughts. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active acceptance and trust. It empowers you to face healing with courage and compassion. By cultivating patience, you create a nurturing inner environment where your heart can recover and grow stronger. Thank you for dedicating this time to cultivate this vital virtue. In the next segment, we will explore how ethical living supports your healing process. These ethical principles, while simple, provide a foundation that supports not only our relationships with others, but also the relationship we hold with ourselves. Explanation of the 5 precepts in lay life. The 5 precepts are fundamental ethical guidelines followed by lay Buddhists. They serve as a practical code of conduct designed to reduce harm and foster a life of peace and integrity. The 5 precepts are to abstain from taking life, which means respecting all living beings and refraining from causing harm. 2. Abstain from taking what is not given, honoring the property and rights of others. To abstain from sexual misconduct, acting responsibly and respectfully in relationships. To abstain from false speech, practicing honesty and truthfulness in communication. To abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs, maintaining clarity of mind and body. Though these precepts were originally designed to foster social harmony and personal discipline, they also profoundly affect how we relate to ourselves. By following these principles, we cultivate respect for our body, mind, and heart. How ethical living supports inner harmony. Ethical living is not about rigid rules or perfectionism. It is about making choices that support well-being, both for ourselves and for those around us. When we act ethically, we reduce internal conflict. We avoid the regret, guilt, or shame that arises when our actions contradict our values. This congruence between our values and actions brings peace of mind. For example, when we practice kindness by abstaining from harm, we honor the sanctity of life, including our own. This respect for life nurtures self-love and compassion. By refraining from stealing or dishonesty, we build trust not only with others, but also within ourselves. Honesty deepens self-respect because we learn to value our truth. Choosing to engage in relationships responsibly fosters emotional safety and respect. Key components of healing. Maintaining clarity of mind through avoiding intoxicants supports our ability to face emotions and challenges directly. Without escape, through these precepts, we create a stable foundation for healing, a stable home within ourselves. Reflection on kindness, honesty, and respect toward self. Let's take a moment to reflect on 3 essential qualities fostered by the 5 precepts: kindness, honesty, and respect, beginning with the relationship we have with ourselves. Kindness toward oneself means treating yourself with the same warmth and care you would offer a beloved friend. It means recognizing that you deserve compassion, patience, and understanding, especially when you struggle or make mistakes. When you act kindly toward yourself, you nurture the heart and create a fertile ground for healing. The precept of abstaining from harm invites us to extend kindness, not just outwardly, but inwardly. Consider how harsh self-judgment or self-criticism can cause pain. Choosing kindness softens this inner dialogue. Honesty with oneself is a courageous act. It means acknowledging your feelings, fears, and imperfections without denial or distortion. It means seeing yourself clearly, both strengths and weaknesses, and accepting what is true. Practicing honesty builds trust within. When you are truthful with yourself, you stop battling illusions or false hopes that prevent healing. The precept of truthful speech also applies inwardly as truthful self-communication. Ask yourself, am I honest about what I need? What hurts me? What nourishes me? Honesty lays the groundwork for genuine self-respect. Respect toward oneself means honoring your body, mind, and spirit. It means recognizing your inherent worth and treating yourself with dignity. Respect guides the way you care for your health, set boundaries, and pursue your well-being. The precepts encourage us to protect this respect by avoiding harmful actions, including those directed inwardly, such as neglect or abuse. When you respect yourself, you create a safe container for healing to unfold. Practical ways to integrate the precepts into daily life. Now, let's consider how to bring these ethical principles alive in everyday life to support your healing journey. Practice compassionate self-care. Nourish your body with wholesome food, rest, and gentle movement. Avoid harmful substances that cloud your mind or harm your health. Speak kindly to yourself. Notice your inner dialogue. When self-critical thoughts arise, pause and reframe them with kindness and truth. Set healthy boundaries. Respect your emotional needs by saying no when necessary. Protect your energy and prioritize your healing. Reflect on your actions daily. Take a moment each day to honestly review how your actions align with your values of kindness, honesty, and respect. Forgive yourself when you fall short. Remember that ethical living is a practice, not perfection. Offer yourself grace and recommit with patience. Guided reflection on ethical living and self-respect. Let's take a few moments now for a guided reflection. Find a comfortable position and close your eyes gently. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. Bring your attention to your heart center. Reflect silently on kindness. Ask yourself, how can I be kinder to myself today? Allow feelings of warmth or tenderness to arise. Next, consider honesty. Ask, am I honest with myself? Invite clarity and openness. Finally, reflect on respect. Ask, how can I honor and respect myself in my choices and actions? Feel the strength and dignity within. Sit quietly with these intentions for a few moments. Take another deep breath in and exhale slowly. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Closing thoughts, the 5 precepts offer a timeless and practical guide, not only to ethical living, but also to cultivating deep self-respect by embracing kindness, honesty, and respect toward yourself. You build a foundation that nurtures healing and peace. Remember, this is a path, a daily commitment to honor your true worth. Thank you for dedicating this time to deepen your understanding and compassion for yourself. In the next segment, we will explore the practice of equanimity, and how it supports a balanced and peaceful heart. Equanimity is a state of balanced calmness and peace amidst the fluctuations of life. It is the ability to meet whatever arises, joy, sorrow, success, failure, with even-mindedness, without being thrown off center. Cultivating equanimity is a powerful practice for healing the heart, freeing us from the extremes of emotional reactivity and developing a steady presence in the midst of life's inevitable ups and downs. Understanding equanimity as balance and peace. The word upaka in Pali means to look over, to observe without partiality or bias. It refers to a mind that is spacious and free from clinging or aversion, rather than being indifferent or detached in a cold way. Equanimity is a warm, compassionate impartiality. It is a deep acceptance of reality as it is, without grasping or rejecting. Imagine the mind as a calm lake reflecting the sky. When the wind blows, ripples appear, but beneath them, the water remains still and steady. Equanimity is that underlying stillness, a peaceful core that remains unshaken by the surface turbulence in daily life. Equanimity helps us navigate emotions and circumstances with clarity and calm. It prevents us from being overwhelmed by joy or devastated by sorrow. Instead, we learn to hold all experiences with balance and wisdom. Why equanimity is essential for healing emotional. Healing often involves encountering difficult feelings and situations. Without equanimity, we might swing between extremes, clinging to pleasant experiences and resisting or fearing unpleasant ones. This emotional volatility can exhaust us, deepen suffering, and cloud our insight. Equanimity creates a stable inner foundation that supports healing by allowing us to observe emotions without being swept away, reducing reactivity and impulsive behaviors, helping us accept ourselves fully, even our imperfections, supporting compassion for ourselves and others. Without judgment, exercises to develop even-mindedness in suffering and joy. Developing equanimity is a gradual practice. Here are some exercises to help cultivate this balanced mind. 1. Mindful observation of emotions. Practice observing your emotions as they arise, without labeling them as good or bad. For example, when joy arises, notice it fully, but without clinging or trying to prolong it. When sadness or anger arises, observe the feeling with curiosity rather than resistance. Recognize that all emotions are transient waves passing through your awareness. This non-reactive observation builds equanimity. 2. Reflecting on the equality of all beings. Spend time reflecting on the fact that all beings seek happiness and wish to avoid suffering. Recognize that joy and pain, success and failure are shared human experiences. This reflection reduces personalizing and exaggerating emotional highs and lows. It fosters a sense of connection and perspective, stabilizing the mind. 3. Loving kindness and equanimity. Practice combine loving kindness, meditation with equanimity. By wishing well to all beings impartially, silently repeat, "May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings live with ease." This practice develops a heart that is open yet balanced, caring yet steady. 4. Balanced response to daily events. Throughout the day, when something pleasant happens, practice savoring the moment without clinging. When challenges arise, try to meet them with acceptance rather than resistance. Remind yourself, this too shall pass. This attitude nurtures equanimity in everyday life. Guided meditation to cultivate equanimity. Now, let's practice a guided meditation to develop equanimity. Find a comfortable seat, close your eyes, or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling its natural rhythm. Allow your mind to settle. Now, bring to mind an experience of joy. Recall the feeling clearly. Notice the sensations in your body. Allow yourself to feel this joy fully, without clinging or pushing it away. After a few breaths, let the joy fade naturally. Next, bring to mind an experience of sorrow or difficulty. Observe the feelings and sensations associated with it. Notice without judgment or resistance. Allow the sadness to be present as it is. Recognize that both joy and sorrow are temporary passing experiences. Silently repeat to yourself, I accept the fullness of my experience. I meet joy and sorrow with a balanced mind. Sit quietly with this awareness for a few moments. Feel the calm steadiness of equanimity. When you are ready, bring your attention back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes gently. Take a deep breath and open your eyes softly, integrating equanimity into your life. Cultivating equanimity is a lifelong journey. Start with small moments of balanced awareness and gradually deepen your practice over time. You will find greater peace and resilience amid life's inevitable changes. Equanimity does not make you indifferent or passive. Instead, it empowers you to respond wisely, with compassion and clarity. Closing invitation. Thank you for dedicating this time to nurture equanimity in your heart. May you carry this balanced peace into your daily life. In the next segment, we will explore the healing power of gratitude and how it shifts the heart toward joy and acceptance. Gratitude may seem simple, even commonplace. Yet, when cultivated sincerely and consistently, it opens pathways of healing, reshapes our perspective, and nurtures a heart full of joy and contentment. Buddhist teachings on gratitude. In Buddhism, gratitude is considered a profound spiritual practice. It is not just polite thankfulness for material things, but a deep recognition of interconnectedness, acknowledging all the conditions, beings, and moments that sustain our life and well-being. The Buddha encouraged his followers to cultivate gratitude daily. In the Sigalovada Sutta, often called the Person's Code of Discipline, he emphasized gratitude toward parents, teachers, friends, and all living beings. Gratitude is also tied closely to mindfulness. When we become fully present, we naturally recognize countless gifts: breath, sight, sound, a moment of kindness that we might otherwise overlook. This awareness invites humility, kindness, and joy. Buddhist teachers also highlight that gratitude is a medicine for suffering. It softens the heart's hardness caused by pain and loss. Instead of fixating on what is lacking or broken, gratitude draws our attention to what is still good, still alive, still meaningful. How gratitude shifts perspective from pain to peace. Pain, loss, and hardship can understandably fill the heart with sorrow or despair. Yet, gratitude does not deny or diminish these realities. Instead, it offers a way to hold them alongside appreciation for life's gifts. This balance transforms how we experience our story. Gratitude invites us to see beauty even in simple moments, recognize the kindness of others and ourselves, Feel connected rather than isolated. Cultivate resilience and hope when we focus exclusively on pain. Our worldview narrows. Gratitude widens our vision, opening the heart to peace. It doesn't erase suffering, but it infuses life with meaning and light. Neuroscience also supports this. Practicing gratitude activates brain regions associated with positive emotions and well-being, reduces stress hormones, and improves sleep. Guided gratitude journaling exercise now. Let's engage in a healing gratitude journaling exercise. If you have a journal or notebook, keep it nearby. If not, simply listen and reflect. Begin by finding a comfortable seated position. Take a few deep breaths to settle your mind. As you inhale, invite openness. As you exhale, release tension. Now gently ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? It could be something big or small. A loving smile, a warm meal, the breath in your lungs, a moment of calm, or even a challenge that taught you strength. Take a moment to let answers arise naturally. Begin writing or reflecting on 3 things you feel thankful for right now. For each, write a few sentences or simply note the feeling. For example, I am grateful for the sun's warmth on my skin. I am grateful for the kindness shown by a friend. I am grateful for my body's ability to breathe and heal. Pause after each gratitude. Allow yourself to feel the appreciation fully. Notice how your body responds. Maybe warmth in your chest, a softening in your face, or a peaceful sigh. If your mind drifts to worries or pain, gently acknowledge those feelings, then bring your attention back to the things you are grateful for. Remember, gratitude and pain can coexist. They do not cancel each other out. You are simply expanding your heart to hold both. When you finish listing your gratitudes, close your journal or rest your hands. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Reflect silently. How does this practice shift my heart and mind? Where can I carry this sense of gratitude throughout my day? Incorporating gratitude into daily life. Gratitude is most powerful when practiced regularly. Here are some simple ways to incorporate it into your day. Begin or end your day listing 3 things you are grateful for. Express appreciation to someone in your life, even in small ways. Notice moments of kindness and beauty around you. Use reminders, sticky notes, alarms, or apps to prompt gratitude practice. When facing difficulty, ask, what can I be thankful for in this moment? Even in the darkest times, gratitude can be a beacon. It does not minimize hardship, but strengthens the heart to face it with grace. Reflection healing through gratitude is a gradual unfolding. With patience and consistency, it rewires the heart toward joy and peace. It reminds us that life's richness is not in perfection, but in presence. Thank you for dedicating this time to nurture gratitude in your heart. Closing invitation. Carry this practice gently with you. Allow gratitude to soften and heal your heart. In the next segment, we will explore how recognizing and healing negative self-talk deepens self-love. This internal dialogue often goes unnoticed, yet deeply influences how we feel about ourselves and the world. Recognizing and healing these patterns is essential to cultivate self-love and inner peace. Common patterns of self-criticism of us carry an inner voice that is harsh, judgmental, or dismissive. This self-critical voice can take many forms, including perfectionism, the constant feeling that you must do better, be better, or never make mistakes. catastrophizing, expecting the worst outcome and magnifying flaws or failures. Labeling, using harsh labels like lazy, stupid, or unlovable to describe yourself. Comparison, measuring yourself against others and feeling inadequate. Blame, holding yourself responsible for everything that goes wrong. Dismissal, minimizing your achievements or worth. These patterns often arise from past experiences, cultural conditioning, or internalized messages from others. Over time, they become habitual and automatic, shaping your self-image and emotional landscape. Negative self-talk fuels feelings of shame, anxiety, and low self-esteem. It blocks healing by creating a hostile inner environment. The Buddhist approach to transforming thoughts. Buddhism offers profound tools for working with the mind's habitual patterns. It teaches that thoughts are impermanent phenomena, passing clouds in the vast sky of awareness, rather than identifying with or fighting negative thoughts. Buddhism encourages us to observe them with mindful curiosity and compassion. This process involves mindful awareness. Notice negative self-talk without judgment or suppression. Non-identification. Recognize that these thoughts are not facts nor your true self. They are mental events. Investigation. Gently question the truth and usefulness of negative thoughts. Replacement. Gradually cultivate positive and skillful thoughts to counteract negativity. By practicing this mindful relationship with thoughts, we break their automatic hold. The Buddha called this process right effort and right mindfulness, part of the Eightfold Path guiding toward liberation from suffering. Affirmations. Rooted in Buddhist wisdom, positive affirmations are powerful tools to nurture new mental habits. Rooted in Buddhist principles, affirmations remind us of our inherent worth, compassion, and the possibility of change. Here are some affirmations you can use or adapt. I am worthy of love and kindness, just as I am. I release the need to be perfect. I am perfectly human. My thoughts do not define me. I am the awareness behind them. I forgive myself for past mistakes and embrace growth. I am patient and gentle with my healing journey. Compassion flows through me to myself and others. I am interconnected with all beings and deserving of peace. Each moment is an opportunity to begin anew. Repeating these affirmations regularly helps rewire the mind toward self-acceptance and peace. Guided reflection on healing negative self-talk. Take a moment to explore this practice together. Find a quiet space and settle comfortably. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few deep, grounding breaths. Bring to mind a recent moment when you heard your inner critic. Allow the thought or phrase to arise in your awareness without judgment. Simply notice it. Say silently, "This is a thought. It is not the truth of who I am." Visualize the thought as a cloud drifting across the sky. Watch it come and go without clinging. Now, bring your attention to the space behind the thought, the vast, clear awareness that is always present. Feel your connection to this deeper self, free from judgment. Begin silently repeating an affirmation that resonates with you. For example, I am worthy of love and kindness. Allow the meaning of the words to sink deeply. Feel warmth or softness spreading in your heart. If other negative thoughts arise, acknowledge them with compassion and return gently to your affirmation. Spend a few moments resting in this space of mindful acceptance and positive intention. When you feel ready, take take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes, integrating this practice into daily life healing. Negative self-talk is an ongoing process. Here are some tips for making this practice part of your daily life. Start your day with affirmations to set a compassionate tone. Notice self-critical thoughts. Use affirmations as antidotes to specific negative beliefs. Journal about your thoughts and feelings to deepen awareness. Practice loving-kindness meditation regularly to nurture compassion. Be patient with yourself. Remembering change takes time. Closing thoughts, recognizing and healing. Negative self-talk opens the door to self-love and peace by bringing mindful awareness and compassionate affirmations to your inner dialogue. You transform the relationship you have with yourself. Thank you for dedicating this time to nurture kindness within. In the next segment, we will explore the importance of community, or Sangha, in supporting your healing journey. In Buddhism, Sangha refers broadly to the community of practitioners who support one another on the path toward awakening. But beyond formal spiritual groups, Sangha can mean any circle of supportive, understanding, and caring people, a community that nourishes the heart and soul. Healing is often thought of as a solitary process, a personal journey inward. Yet, connection is deeply human and profoundly necessary. Community plays a vital role in offering encouragement, perspective, compassion, and shared strength. In this segment, we'll explore why connection is essential in Buddhist practice and emotional healing, how healthy relationships nourish the heart, and how you can seek or create supportive communities in your life. The importance of connection in Buddhist practice. From the beginning of his teaching, the Buddha emphasized the value of Sangha as one of the three jewels: Buddha, the teacher; Dharma, the teachings; and Sangha, the community. The Sangha provides a living, breathing environment where teachings are embodied and experienced. In relationship, in practice, Sangha offers support, inspiration, and accountability. When we gather with others who share similar intentions, whether in meditation groups, study circles, or informal friendships, we tap into a powerful collective energy that encourages growth and healing. The Buddha compared Sangha to a field where seeds of practice can take root and flourish. Without such a field, spiritual and emotional growth can be more difficult and isolating. How healthy relationships nourish the heart. The quality of our relationships directly influences our emotional well-being. Healthy relationships offer emotional safety, spaces where we can express vulnerability without fear of judgment, validation, recognition that our feelings and experiences matter, compassion, genuine care that comforts and heals wounds, mutual support, sharing burdens, and celebrating joys together. Growth, opportunities to learn about ourselves through connection with others. When we experience these in community, the heart feels nourished and resilient. Research in psychology confirms that social connection is one of the strongest predictors of happiness and health. Feeling seen and supported creates a sense of belonging that counteracts loneliness and despair. Conversely, isolation can exacerbate suffering and hinder healing. Encouragement to seek or create supportive communities. If you feel isolated or disconnected, it's important to know that you are not alone, and community can be found or built. Here are some ideas to help you cultivate Sangha in your life. Seek out spiritual or meditation groups. Many communities offer meditation classes, Dharma talks, or study groups. Joining such groups can connect you with others on a similar path. Engage in support or therapy groups focused on healing, grief, addiction, or other challenges provide safe spaces for sharing and growth. Connect through shared interests, book clubs, creative classes, volunteer organizations, or hobby groups can foster meaningful friendships. Cultivate existing relationships, deepen connections with family, friends, or colleagues by practicing openness and vulnerability. Create your own community. If no group exists that feels right, consider starting one. Even a small circle of like-minded people can be powerful. Nurturing your role in community. Being part of a community is a two-way exchange. Offering kindness, listening, and support to others enriches your own healing and builds stronger bonds. Remember, no community is perfect. All relationships require patience, forgiveness, and effort. Approach your Sangha with openness and grace. Guided reflection on connection. Take a moment to reflect on your experience of connection. Find a comfortable seat and close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few deep breaths. Recall a moment when you felt truly seen or supported by another. Notice how your body and heart respond to this memory. Allow gratitude to arise. Now bring to mind someone you trust or wish to connect with more deeply. Silently offer them kindness and appreciation. If you feel comfortable, set an intention to nurture this connection. Recognize that your healing journey is supported by many, seen and unseen. Rest for a few breaths in this awareness of connection. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes. Closing thoughts, healing thrives. In community, Sangha offers a container of love, understanding, and strength that sustains the heart's journey. Whether through formal spiritual groups or informal circles of care, connection enriches our path. Thank you for dedicating time to reflect on the role of community. In the next segment, we will explore a meditation on the Buddha's compassionate presence and how it supports healing. Throughout Buddhist tradition, the image and energy of the Buddha serve as a powerful source of inspiration and solace. Meditating on the Buddha's compassionate presence invites healing energy into our hearts and supports our transformation. With grace and profound kindness, let us begin by gently preparing to meet this compassionate presence within the sanctuary of our own awareness. Visualization of the Buddha or enlightened teacher. Begin by finding a comfortable seated position. Allow your spine to be upright yet relaxed. Close your eyes softly or lower your gaze. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling slowly through your nose and exhaling gently through your mouth. Feel yourself settling into this moment, letting go of tension or distractions. Now bring your mind's eye to a peaceful place, perhaps a quiet forest clearing, a gentle hillside, or a temple bathed in soft, warm light. Imagine yourself sitting comfortably here, safe and calm in this serene space. Visualize the presence of the Buddha or your chosen enlightened teacher approaching. Their face, their eyes full of loving kindness. You may see the Buddha seated in lotus posture, hands resting in a mudra of blessing or peace. Or you might envision a glowing light, a luminous being of peace. Feel the powerful yet tender energy emanating from this presence. It is a wellspring of healing, a source of unconditional love and understanding that knows your suffering and holds it with care. Allow yourself to receive this energy. Imagine it flowing toward you like a warm, radiant light, inviting their healing energy into your heart now. Focus your attention on your heart center, the space in the middle of your chest, where your breath feels most alive. As the Buddha's compassionate light reaches you, imagine it entering your heart, filling it with warmth, softness, and healing. With each breath, this light expands, dissolving any heaviness, pain, or resistance held there. Feel the tension melt away as your heart opens gently like a blooming flower. This healing light carries forgiveness, peace, and acceptance. It reminds you that you are deeply worthy of love and kindness, just as you are. If difficult emotions or memories arise, allow this compassionate energy to surround them, holding them safely without judgment. Let the Buddha's presence assure you that suffering is seen, understood, and embraced. You are not alone. Guided visualization, meditation. Let meditation sit quietly and continue to breathe naturally. Visualize the Buddha, yours with infinite compassion. Silently repeat these phrases or create your own. May I be free from suffering. May I be at peace. May I be healed. May I be filled with loving kindness. With each phrase, feel the healing energy growing in your heart. Imagine this light expanding beyond your body, surrounding you in a protective and nurturing glow. Sense the connection between you and the Buddha's presence, a connection that transcends time and space. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the visualization and the feelings in your heart. Rest in this space of sacred healing for several minutes. When you feel ready, slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Notice the sensations of sitting, the contact of your body with the chair or floor. Take a deep breath in and did it feel to receive the Buddha's compassionate presence? Did you notice any shifts in your heart or mind? Remember, this compassionate presence is always available within you. In meditation or in moments of quiet, you can return to this visualization whenever you need comfort or healing. Integrating compassionate presence into daily life beyond formal meditation. Bring awareness to moments when you can invite compassion into your heart. When facing difficulty, recall this healing light. Imagine it surrounding your heart. Understanding this practice strengthens your resilience and deepens self-love. Closing invitation. Thank you for joining this meditation on the Buddha's compassionate presence. May this healing energy continue to nurture your heart and guide your journey toward peace. In the next segment, we will explore the middle way, the path of balance and harmony in healing. We will explore an essential teaching of Buddhism that offers deep insight into emotional healing, karma, and how embracing self-responsibility empowers you to transform your life. Understanding karma in its true light can free you from victimhood and blame, opening a path of conscious choice, growth, and healing. What karma means in emotional healing. When most people hear the word karma, they think of fate, destiny, or cosmic justice. The idea that what goes around comes around. While this is a common interpretation, Buddhist teachings present a more nuanced and empowering view. Karma literally means action or doing. It refers to the law of cause and effect. Every intentional action, physical, verbal, or mental, plants seeds that will bear fruit in the future. This includes not only actions toward others, but also the way we act toward ourselves in emotional healing. Karma relates to the choices we make and how we respond to our feelings, thoughts, and situations. For example, if we habitually respond to pain with anger or self-blame, we create patterns that reinforce suffering. Conversely, if we respond with mindfulness, compassion, and wise action, we cultivate healing and peace. Karma is not a system of punishment, but a natural flow of consequences that offers feedback and learning opportunities. Recognizing this encourages us to take ownership of our inner world. Owning your actions without taking responsibility for your karma means acknowledging how your choices influence your emotional state and life experience without slipping into harsh self-judgment or blame. Self-responsibility is about empowerment, not guilt. It involves honest reflection. How have my reactions, thoughts, or behaviors contributed to my suffering? What patterns do I wish to change? By owning our actions, we reclaim power over our healing. We move from feeling like passive victims of circumstance to active participants in transformation. It's important to balance this responsibility with self-compassion. Owning your karma is not about beating yourself up over the past, but learning from it and choosing differently moving forward. Empowerment through mindful choices. The awareness of karma invites you to cultivate mindful choices moment by moment. Mindfulness, the foundation of Buddhist practice, helps you pause before reacting automatically. It creates space to observe your impulses, emotions, and thoughts with curiosity. In that space, you can decide how to respond skillfully. For instance, you might notice them and then consciously choose to offer yourself kindness instead. When feeling hurt by someone's actions, you might choose to respond with compassion rather than resentment. These choices plant new seeds for positive emotional states and healthier relationships. Through repeated mindful decisions, you gradually reshape your inner landscape and your outer life. Practical ways to embrace karma and responsibility. Self-reflection. Practice. Set aside time regularly to reflect on your emotional responses and behaviors. Journaling can be a helpful tool. Ask yourself, what patterns do I notice in my reactions? How have my choices affected my well-being? What changes do I wish to cultivate? Mindful pause. Practice pausing before responding to difficult emotions or situations. Take a few deep breaths, observe your feelings, and then choose your response. Compassionate accountability. When you recognize a harmful pattern, acknowledge it kindly. Seek support. Sometimes owning karma means asking for help. Engage with trusted friends, mentors, or therapists who can guide you compassionately. Guided reflection on karma and self-respect. Soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Bring to mind a recent situation where you felt emotional difficulty or conflict. Observe your thoughts and feelings around this event. Now, without judgment, ask yourself, what choices did I make in how I responded? How did these choices influence my feelings and outcome? Allow insights to come naturally. Silently affirm, I own my actions with kindness. I am empowered to choose wisely. Each moment offers a new beginning. Breathe deeply into these intentions. Feel a sense of strength growing within you. When ready, gently open your eyes, closing thoughts. Understanding karma as the natural law of cause and effect invites you to embrace self-responsibility with compassion. and courage by owning your choices without blame. You reclaim your power to heal and transform. Each mindful decision becomes a seed of freedom and peace. Thank you for dedicating this time to deepen your awareness and empowerment. In the next segment, we will explore cultivating joy, mudita, as a vital practice for healing the heart. The middle way, or Majjhima Patipada in Pali, was the path the Buddha discovered and taught as a way to avoid the extremes of self-indulgence and harsh asceticism. It is a principle of balance, moderation, and harmony applied to our relationship with ourselves. The middle way encourages us to avoid the extremes of self-judgment, neither harsh self-criticism nor excessive self-indulgence, and to cultivate a balanced, compassionate, and realistic self-love. Explanation of the middle way applied to self-love in our culture and personal experience. It is easy to slip into extremes when it comes to how we treat ourselves. On one hand, some of us may be harsh, unforgiving, and critical, setting impossibly high standards, condemning perceived flaws, and ruminating over mistakes. This extreme self-judgment breeds shame, anxiety, and emotional pain. On the other hand, others might swing to the opposite extreme, indulging in self-pity, avoiding responsibility, or justifying harmful behaviors under the guise of self. This too can stall growth and deepen suffering. The middle way invites a third option, self-love, that is neither blind indulgence nor self-condemnation, but a steady path of honest care and acceptance. This means acknowledging your imperfections without harshness, honoring your needs without selfishness, and embracing growth without judgment. The middle way teaches that true healing comes from this balanced approach, a realistic, tender relationship with yourself. Finding balance between self-care and humility. Self-love through the middle way balances self-care with humility. Self-care involves recognizing and meeting your needs, physical, emotional, and spiritual. It means prioritizing your well-being, setting boundaries, and nurturing your growth. Humility invites you to accept your limitations and perfections with honesty and grace. It encourages openness to learning, change, and the acceptance that you are a work in progress. Balancing these allows you to care for yourself fully without arrogance or self-neglect. For example, practicing the middle way in self-care might look like eating nourishing food without strict dieting or overindulgence, acknowledging when you need rest without laziness or pushing through exhaustion, setting boundaries firmly but kindly, accepting your mistakes without harsh judgment or denial. This balance nurtures a stable foundation for emotional healing and authentic self-love. Reflective questions for balance to support your practice of the middle way. Consider reflecting on these questions regularly. Am I treating myself with kindness while being honest about my growth areas? How can I nurture my needs without falling into indulgence? Where do I notice tendencies toward harsh self-judgment or excessive self-criticism? In what ways can I cultivate humility alongside self-compassion? How can I hold myself accountable with gentleness and patience? What small steps can I take today to embody balance in my self-care practices? These questions guide you toward mindful awareness of extremes and foster a path of balance. Practical exercises to embody the middle way. Here are some practical exercises to help you live the middle way in your relationship with yourself. Daily check-in. Pause each day to observe your inner dialogue. Notice if you are leaning toward harsh judgment or self-indulgence. Gently bring your thoughts back toward balance. Balanced affirmations. Use affirmations that reflect the middle way, such as, I accept myself as I am and commit to growing. With kindness, I honor my needs and embrace my imperfections. Mindful self-care. Choose self-care activities that support your well-being without excess or neglect. For example, enjoy a walk mindfully without pushing yourself to exhaustion. Journaling reflection. Write about moments when you noticed extremes in self-judgment. Compassionate accountability. Hold yourself accountable for your growth with a gentle heart. Recognize progress, forgive setbacks, and recommit. Guided reflection. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the middle way in your self-love practice. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Bring your awareness to your heart. Reflect silently on these questions. Where in my life am I too hard on myself? Where might I be avoiding responsibility or self-care? How can I find a balance that honors both honesty and kindness? Allow insights to arise without judgment. Visualize yourself walking a gentle path between two hills, one representing harshness, the other indulgence. See yourself moving steadily along the path of balance. Rest in this image for a few breaths. When you feel ready, bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a final deep breath and open your eyes softly, closing. Thoughts the Middle Way offers a profound invitation to embrace self-love with wisdom, balance, and compassion by avoiding extremes. You create a sustainable path of healing that honors your humanity fully. Thank you for dedicating this time to explore balance in your heart. In the next segment, we will delve into understanding karma and self-responsibility as keys to empowerment. We explore a beautiful and often overlooked practice in Buddhism called mudita, the cultivation of joy. More specifically, we will focus on cultivating joyful appreciation for yourself and others, a practice known as sympathetic or vicarious. Joy.mudita is one of the four immeasurables, along with loving kindness, metta, compassion, karuna, and equanimity, upeka. It is the ability to delight in the happiness, success, and well-being of others without envy or comparison. This joyful quality is not only uplifting, but also deeply healing. Cultivating joy is vital for emotional health because it balances the natural presence of suffering in life. Joy opens the heart, releases tension, and replenishes our emotional reserves. It helps us connect with the richness of life beyond pain and struggle. In this segment, we will explore how joy functions as a healing force, how to practice sympathetic joy toward yourself, and guide you through a joyful reflection meditation to nurture this quality in your heart. Joy as a healing force. Joy is often misunderstood as fleeting happiness dependent on external circumstances. While it is true that joy can be triggered by pleasant experiences, Buddhist teachings invite us to cultivate a deeper, more stable joy that is not contingent on fleeting events. This joy arises from a heart that is free from envy, resentment, and comparison. When we let go of these mental barriers, joy naturally emerges as a gentle, abiding presence. From a healing perspective, joy has remarkable power, balances negativity. Joy counters feelings of sadness, anger, and fear, providing emotional relief. Opens the heart. Joy softens defenses, making us more receptive to love and connection. Fosters resilience. Experiencing joy replenishes energy and motivation to continue healing work. Enhances compassion. Joy naturally expands to include others, strengthening bonds and empathy. Importantly, cultivating joy is not about denying pain, but inviting light and warmth alongside darkness. This balance creates a fuller, richer, emotional life. Practicing sympathetic joy for yourself. Sympathetic joy, or mudita, traditionally involves rejoicing in others' happiness. However, it can and should also be directed toward yourself. Sometimes, self-joy can be elusive because of self-criticism or low self-worth. Practicing joyful appreciation of your own growth, strengths, and moments of peace nurtures self-love and healing. Here are some ways to cultivate sympathetic joy for yourself. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Acknowledge your progress, efforts, and successes. Rejoice in your strengths. Reflect on qualities you admire in yourself. Resilience, kindness, creativity. Delight in simple pleasures. Notice moments of beauty, laughter, or comfort in your daily life and allow yourself to savor them. Release comparison. Let go of measuring your journey against others. Your path is unique and valuable. Practice self-care with joy. Approach acts of care, rest, nourishing food, movement as joyful celebrations of your well-being. Cultivating this joyful attitude toward yourself plants seeds of confidence and inner peace. Guided, joyful reflection now. Let us move into a guided, joyful reflection to cultivate mudita in your heart. Find a comfortable seat where you can relax and remain alert. Close your eyes softly or lower your gaze. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling calm and exhaling tension. Begin by bringing to mind a recent moment when you experienced genuine happiness or contentment. It could be a smile from a loved one, a beautiful sunset, or a quiet moment of peace. Allow yourself to fully recall that moment, the sights, sounds, sensations. Feel the warmth or lightness that joy brings. Let this feeling expand within your chest like a gentle sunbeam. Silently repeat to yourself, "May I rejoice in this happiness. May this joy fill my heart. May I nurture joyful appreciation for myself." Now, shift your attention to your own qualities and strengths. Visualize yourself standing before a mirror of kindness. See your reflection clearly, not just the surface, but the fullness of who you are, your courage, your compassion, your growth. Say silently, "I rejoice in my strengths. I celebrate my journey. I embrace my worth with joy." If any resistance or self-doubt arises, acknowledge it gently and return to your joyful intentions. Next, bring to mind someone you care about, a friend, family member, or even a stranger. Recall a moment of their happiness or success. Allow yourself to share in their joy sincerely, without envy or judgment. Repeat silently, "May you be happy. May your joy inspire and uplift. May we share in the beauty of life." Feel the joy expand outward, connecting you with others. Rest for a few moments in this expansive, joyful heart space. When you feel ready, bring your awareness back to your breath. Notice the gentle rise and fall, anchoring you in the present. Take a final deep breath and slowly open your eyes, integrating joy into daily life to continue cultivating mudita in your daily life. Consider these simple practices. Begin or end your day by recalling 3 joyful moments or qualities in yourself. When hearing good news about others, pause to celebrate without comparison. Practice mindful savoring. Take time to fully enjoy a pleasant experience. Express gratitude and joy in your interactions, uplifting yourself and others. Notice and gently challenge envy or jealousy when they arise, replacing them with mudita. Closing thoughts. Cultivating joy through mudita is a beautiful, healing practice that expands the heart's capacity to love and connect. By rejoicing in your own happiness and the happiness of others, you nourish your spirit and support your healing. Thank you for dedicating this time to invite joy into your heart. In the next segment, we will explore healing stories from Buddhist texts that illuminate compassion and transformation. We will explore a selection of short parables and stories from Buddhist texts that beautifully illustrate the principles of healing and compassion. Stories have always been a powerful way to convey wisdom. They engage the heart and imagination, making profound truths accessible and memorable. Buddhist teachings are rich with tales of transformation, forgiveness, and kindness, stories that continue to inspire millions around the world. Each story we share today contains a lesson for your own healing journey. As you listen, allow these ancient teachings to touch your heart and guide your steps. Story 1: The Mustard Seed. Facing grief with compassion. One of the most poignant stories about healing comes from the tale of Kisa Gautami, a young woman who lost her only child. Overcome by grief and unable to accept the loss, Kisa Gautami carried her child's body from house to house, asking for medicine to bring him back to life. The Buddha met her in her sorrow and gave her a compassionate task to find a mustard seed from a household where no one had died. She searched, but no household was free from death and suffering. Through this painful realization, Kisa Gautami understood the universality of suffering. She returned to the Buddha, who taught her mindfulness and compassion as a way to face grief and find peace. Lesson. This story teaches us that suffering and loss are part of the shared human experience. Healing begins with acknowledging pain and embracing compassion for ourselves and others. We are not alone in our struggles, and in recognizing this, we find connection and solace. Story 2: The Buddha and the Angry Elephant. Compassion overcomes anger. Once, a wild elephant went on a rampage, destroying homes and frightening villagers. People feared it and wanted to harm it. The Buddha approached the elephant calmly, radiating loving kindness. His peaceful presence calmed the elephant, which ceased its destructive behavior and became gentle. Lesson. This story illustrates how compassion and calm can transform anger and violence in others and within ourselves. Responding to our inner turmoil with gentle kindness, rather than harshness or resistance, opens the way for healing and peace. Story 3: The Healing Power of Forgiveness. The story of Lingula was a feared bandit who had harmed many people. One day he encountered the Buddha, who met him without fear or condemnation. Moved by the Buddha's compassion, Angulimala renounced violence and devoted himself to spiritual practice. Through forgiveness and compassion, he transformed his life. Lesson. This story reminds us that no one is beyond healing. Forgiveness, both of ourselves and others, is a radical act that releases us from the chains of past pain. It opens the heart to transformation and new beginnings. Story 4. The Parable of the Two Arrows. The Buddha taught that pain is like being struck by an arrow, inevitable and unavoidable. However, suffering becomes unbearable when we are struck by a second arrow, the pain of resisting or adding judgment to our initial hurt. By learning to respond mindfully and compassionately to our pain, we avoid the second arrow. Lesson. This parable teaches us that much of our suffering comes from how we relate to pain. Healing arises when we stop resisting and allow ourselves to feel with kindness and acceptance. Story 5. The Gift of the Moonlight. Generosity and Healing. A poor man offered the Buddha a simple gift, a handful of rice. The Buddha accepted it gratefully, teaching that the value of a gift lies in the intention and the heart behind it. Generosity, even in small acts, cultivates joy and healing. Lesson. This story highlights how giving, whether to ourselves or others, nurtures the heart. Acts of generosity, kindness, and self-care are essential in healing and awakening. Closing reflection. As we conclude this segment, reflect on which story resonated most with you. Consider the lessons they offer and how you might apply them in your own life. Healing is a journey, and these timeless tales offer guidance and hope. Invitation. Take a moment now to sit quietly with these teachings. Let their wisdom soak into your heart. Remember that you are part of this long lineage of seekers and healers. May these stories inspire courage, compassion, and peace on your path. We will explore the vital connection between body and heart in emotional healing. Our bodies are not separate from our feelings. They carry our emotions, memories, and tensions. Learning to listen to the body with awareness opens a powerful gateway to healing the heart. This segment will introduce you to the practice of body awareness and guide you through a body scan meditation focused on releasing tension and nurturing emotional balance. Connecting body and heart in healing. Often, when we think about healing emotional wounds, we focus primarily on the mind, thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. However, the body plays an equally essential role. Emotions manifest in the body as sensations: tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach, heaviness in the shoulders, or shallow breathing. These physical sensations can be reminders of unresolved emotional pain or stress. Ignoring or suppressing bodily signals can cause emotional tension to accumulate, leading to discomfort or illness. Buddhist teachings emphasize mindfulness of the body as a foundation for awakening. The body is a living, breathing presence that anchors us in the present moment. When we cultivate body awareness, we develop a compassionate relationship with ourselves, recognizing that emotional pain is not just a mental experience, but one that touches the entire being. This holistic awareness supports deep healing, releasing trapped tension, softening the heart, and opening space for peace. Benefits of body awareness in emotional healing. Grounding. The body keeps us rooted in the present, preventing us from getting lost in rumination or worry. Recognition. Noticing bodily sensations helps identify emotions before they overwhelm us. Release. Bringing mindful attention to tension areas encourages relaxation and emotional release. Integration. Healing becomes holistic when mind and body work in harmony. Compassion, listening to the body, fosters kindness toward ourselves. Introducing body scan meditation. Body scan meditation is a mindfulness practice where you systematically bring gentle, non-judgmental attention to different parts of the body. It is a way to tune in to sensations, observe tension or discomfort, and invite relaxation. This practice helps cultivate body awareness and create an inner environment supportive of emotional healing. Guided body scan meditation. Let's begin the body scan together. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, where you can relax without disturbance. Close your eyes softly or lower your gaze. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. Allow your body to begin settling into the space beneath you. Step 1. Bring awareness to the feet. Bring your attention to your feet. Notice any sensations, warmth, coolness, pressure, tingling, or maybe no sensation at all. Without trying to change anything, just observe. If you notice tension, imagine breathing into that area with each exhale. Invite the muscles to soften and release. Step 2. Move attention to the lower legs. Shift your awareness slowly to your ankles and calves. Feel the texture of clothing or the air against your skin. Notice any areas of tightness or ease. Breathe gently into any tension, allowing it to dissolve bit by bit. Step 3. Awareness of knees and thighs now. Bring your focus to your knees and thighs. Observe sensations here. Perhaps you feel contact with the chair or floor. If discomfort arises, breathe into it. Let your muscles relax softly. Step 4. Hips and pelvic area. Move your attention to your hips and pelvic region. This area often holds emotional tension. Notice any sensation, warmth or stillness. Breathe into these sensations with curiosity and kindness. Allow the muscles to soften as you exhale. Step 5. Lower back and abdomen. Bring your awareness to your lower back. Notice any stiffness or ease. Breathe into areas that feel tight or uncomfortable. Now, focus on your abdomen. Feel it rise and fall with each breath. Allow your belly to soften, releasing any tension. Step 6. Chest and heart center. Shift your tension gently to your chest and heart center. Notice sensations here, warmth, tightness, or openness. Breathe deeply into your heart area. With each exhale, imagine any heaviness or pain melting away. Allow your heart to open softly, like a flower blooming. Step 7. Upper back and shoulders. Move your awareness to your upper back and shoulders. These areas often carry stress and burden. Notice any tightness or discomfort. Imagine your breath flowing into these areas with each exhale. Feel the shoulders drop and relax. Release any weight you may be carrying. Step 8. Arms, hands, and fingers. Bring your focus to your arms, hands, and fingers. Notice sensations of touch or temperature. Relax your hands and let your fingers spread. Naturally, breathe softness into your arms. Step 9. Neck and throat shift. Attention to your neck and throat. Observe tension or ease here. Breathe gently into these areas. Release any tightness as you exhale. Step 10. Face and head now. Bring your awareness to your face. Notice your jaw. Is it clenched or relaxed? Soften your forehead, eyes, and mouth. Allow your facial muscles to release tension. Feel the lightness spreading through your head. Step 11. Whole body awareness. Finally, take a moment to sense your whole body as one. Feel the connection between all the parts. Notice the flow of breath moving through your entire being. Rest in this feeling of embodied presence. Closing the body, take a few deep breaths. Allow yourself to enjoy this calm and grounded state. When you feel ready, slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently open your eyes. Take a moment before moving on. Integrating body awareness into daily life. Practicing body awareness regularly strengthens the mind-body connection. Here are some simple ways to bring it into your daily routine. Take mindful pauses during the day to check in with your body. Notice sensations during everyday activities like walking, eating, or washing hands. Use gentle stretches or yoga to release tension consciously. Before sleep, do a brief body scan to relax and prepare for rest. Final reflection: your body holds wisdom and healing energy. By listening attentively and kindly, you support your emotional well-being. Thank you for dedicating this time to nurture your body and heart. In the next segment, we will explore forgiveness, a radical act of freedom for healing the heart. We dive deeply into one of the most transformative practices in Buddhism and in emotional healing: forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood, but in truth, it is a radical act of freedom that releases the burdens of anger, resentment, and pain, opening space for peace and renewal. Forgiveness in Buddhist teachings. Forgiveness is a central theme in Buddhist ethics and psychology. The Buddha recognized that holding on to anger and grudges only prolongs suffering and binds us in cycles of negativity. He taught that forgiveness is not about condoning harmful actions or forgetting the past, but about freeing ourselves from the chains of bitterness. The Buddhist understanding of forgiveness is about liberation, liberating your mind and heart from the grip of resentment. It is a courageous and compassionate choice to let go of the heavy load of anger, freeing energy to heal and grow. Forgiveness is also deeply connected to compassion. Compassion toward others who have caused harm, and, importantly, toward ourselves. By forgiving, we acknowledge human imperfection, including our own, and choose to respond with wisdom rather than reactivity. Differences between forgiveness and forgetting it is and what it is not. Many people fear that forgiving means forgetting, excusing, or enabling harmful behavior. However, forgiveness does not require forgetting. We do not erase the past or deny what happened. Memories and lessons remain as part of our story. Condoning forgiveness does not mean approving or excusing wrongdoing. It simply means choosing not to let anger and hatred dominate our hearts. Reconciliation. Forgiveness is a personal process and does not obligate us to reconcile with the person who caused harm. Safety and boundaries remain vital. Instead, forgiveness is an inner process of releasing the grip that resentment has on us. It is a gift we give ourselves, a path to peace and freedom. The radical freedom of forgiveness. Forgiveness is radical because it reverses the usual power dynamic of pain. Instead of letting the person who hurt us control our emotions and energy, we reclaim that power by forgiving. We say, "I will not let this harm define or imprison me." This choice is an act of profound self-love and courage. It does not happen instantly or easily. Forgiveness often unfolds gradually as trust, compassion, and understanding grow. but every step toward forgiveness is a step toward liberation. Guided forgiveness meditation. Now, let us practice a guided forgiveness meditation to open your heart to this radical freedom. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes gently or soften your gaze. Take a few deep breaths. Allow your body to relax. Bring to mind someone who has caused you pain or harm. It might be a family member, friend, colleague, or even yourself. Notice any feelings that arise: anger, sadness, fear, or hurt. Allow these feelings to be present without pushing them away. Now, silently say to yourself, I recognize my pain. I honor my feelings. I am open to healing. Visualize your heart as a space of warmth and light. Imagine this light growing brighter with each breath. Allow this healing light to soften the pain and tension. Now, begin to silently offer forgiveness to the person you brought to mind. You can use phrases such as, I forgive you, I release you, may you be free from suffering. If you find resistance or pain, acknowledge it gently. Say, it is okay to feel this way. Forgiveness is a process. Return to your healing light and breath. Allow forgiveness to unfold at its own pace. If you brought yourself to mind, offer the same phrases of forgiveness and compassion inwardly. Say, I forgive myself. I release blame. May I find peace. Rest for a few moments in this space of healing and freedom. When you feel ready, gently bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath and open your eyes softly, integrating forgiveness into your healing journey. Forgiveness is a practice, not a one-time event. Here are some ways to cultivate forgiveness in daily life. When anger arises, pause and breathe deeply before reacting. Reflect on the impermanent nature of emotions and situations. Practice loving kindness, meditation toward yourself and others. Journal about your feelings of hurt and forgiveness. Seek support from trusted friends or spiritual guides. Remember, forgiveness frees you first and foremost. It opens your heart and mind to peace and joy. Closing invitation. Thank you for dedicating this time to explore the radical freedom of forgiveness. May this practice dissolve barriers and heal your heart deeply. In the next segment, we will explore generosity, Dana giving as a path to healing and connection. We will explore a beautiful and vital practice rooted in Buddhist wisdom, the practice of Dana, or generosity. While Dana is often understood as giving outwardly to others, today we will focus on giving kindness, care, and generosity inwardly toward yourself. Generosity is a powerful force for healing. When directed inward, it breaks patterns of self-neglect and harshness, creating space for compassion, growth, and wholeness. In this segment, we will explore the essence of Dana beyond material giving and engage in practical exercises to cultivate generosity of thoughts, time, and care for yourself. Dana, more than outward giving. In Buddhism, Dana is one of the foundational virtues, the first of the 10 perfections, paramitas, that lead to awakening. Traditionally, Dana involves acts of giving to others, offering food, shelter, support, or wisdom without expecting anything in return. This generosity nurtures interconnectedness and dissolves attachment. Yet Dana is much more than external acts. At its heart, it is the generosity of spirit, a willingness to give freely and openly without reservation or limitation. This generosity naturally extends to how we treat ourselves. Often, we are generous with others, but stingy with ourselves. We push ourselves too hard, deny our needs, or speak harshly within. This imbalance can block healing and inner peace. Practicing dana toward yourself means offering the same kindness, patience, and care you offer others, a radical and transformative act. Why generosity toward yourself matters? Self-directed generosity is essential because it nurtures self-worth and self-love. Foundational for emotional healing. It softens inner criticism and self-judgment. It replenishes your emotional and physical resources. It models healthy boundaries and self-respect. It allows you to be more present and compassionate toward others. When you cultivate generosity inwardly, you create a nourishing inner environment where healing can flourish. Exercises in generosity of thoughts and time for self-lets. Explore practical ways to cultivate dana toward yourself through generosity of thoughts and time. 1. Generosity of kind thoughts. Begin by becoming aware of your internal dialogue. How often do you speak kindly to yourself? Make a conscious effort to replace self-criticism with generous, encouraging words. Try this exercise each morning. Look into a mirror or close your eyes. Silently or aloud, say 3 kind affirmations to yourself. Examples include: I am worthy of love and care. I honor my efforts and progress. I am deserving of peace and happiness. Notice how these words feel in your heart and mind. Repeat this practice regularly to build a foundation of positive, generous self-talk. 2. Generosity of time. Give yourself permission to spend quality time nurturing your well-being. This may be as simple as taking a walk in nature, fully present and appreciative, sitting quietly with a cup of tea, savoring the moment, engaging in a hobby that brings joy and relaxation, practicing gentle yoga or stretching to honor your body, setting aside time for meditation or mindful breathing. Treat these moments not as obligations, but as precious gifts you give yourself. Scheduling regular generosity breaks supports sustained healing and resilience. 3. Generosity through self-care. Thoughts and time become tangible when expressed through acts of self-care. Create a self-care ritual tailored to your needs and preferences. This could include preparing a nourishing meal with mindful attention, taking a warm bath with calming scents, reading uplifting books or listening to soothing music, writing in a journal to explore and release emotions, seeking restful sleep by creating a peaceful bedtime routine. Each act of self-care is an expression of dana, a generous honoring of your body, mind, and spirit. 4. Generosity in setting boundaries. Another form of generosity toward yourself is setting healthy boundaries. This means saying no to activities or relationships that drain your energy or compromise your well-being. It requires courage and respect. Gifts you give to yourself by protecting your time and space. Practice saying no gently but firmly when needed. Remember, generosity includes preserving your own capacity to give freely without exhaustion. Guided reflection on self-generosity. Lots. Take a moment to engage in a reflection that supports the cultivation of dana toward yourself. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep, calming breath in and exhale fully. Bring your attention to your heart center. Silently reflect on these questions. How generous am I with myself in my thoughts? Do I offer myself kindness or criticism more often? How do I spend my time? Does it nurture or drain me? What self-care practices feel like generous gifts to my heart and body? Are there boundaries I need to set to protect my well-being? Allow answers to arise naturally without judgment. Now, imagine wrapping yourself in a warm, radiant light of generosity and kindness. Feel this light nourishing your heart, filling every corner with love and care. Silently affirm, I offer myself the gift of kindness. I give myself time to heal and grow. I honor my needs and protect my peace. Rest in this feeling of generous self-care for a few breaths. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes, integrating self-generosity into daily life to continue nurturing generosity toward yourself. Consider starting each day with kind affirmations, scheduling regular moments dedicated solely to self-care, mindfully noticing when your inner dialogue turns critical and gently redirecting it, practicing saying no without guilt to protect your energy, remembering that generosity toward yourself enables generosity toward others. Closing thoughts, Dana, toward yourself is a radical act of healing and liberation. It transforms self-neglect into self-love and creates a foundation for lasting peace. Thank you for dedicating this time to cultivate generosity within. May this practice continue to nurture your heart and guide your healing. We will explore how meditation can build emotional resilience, a vital quality that helps us navigate life's challenges with strength, clarity, and compassion. Resilience is often described as the ability to bounce back from adversity, but it is much more than that. It is the capacity to stay grounded and open-hearted in the face of difficulty, to learn and grow from pain, and to maintain hope even when the path feels uncertain. Meditation is a powerful practice that cultivates this resilience by training the mind and heart to be present, stable, and compassionate. In this segment, we'll look at how meditation strengthens emotional resilience, and then guide you through a meditation designed to help you face your inner challenges with courage and kindness. How meditation strengthens emotional resilience. Meditation develops emotional resilience through several interrelated ways. Mindful awareness meditation cultivates the ability to observe our thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations without immediately reacting. This awareness creates a pause between stimulus and responsive, space where we can choose skillful actions rather than habitual reactions. This pause is crucial for emotional regulation and resilience. Acceptance of experience through meditation. We learn to accept whatever arises in our experience, pleasant or unpleasant, without resistance or avoidance. This acceptance reduces emotional suffering by preventing the added layer of struggle that often comes from fighting reality. Reducing identification meditation helps us realize that thoughts and emotions are transient phenomena, not the totality of who we are. This perspective lessens the impact of difficult feelings and fosters a more stable sense of self. Compassionate presence. Regular meditation deepens our capacity for compassion both toward ourselves and others. Compassion nourishes resilience by softening harsh self-judgment and opening the heart to healing. Stress reduction and calm meditation activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering stress hormones and calming the body. A calm body supports a calm mind, creating the physiological foundation for resilience. Developing patience and persistence. Meditation is itself a practice of patience. As we gently return our attention again and again, we cultivate persistence and endurance, qualities essential for resilience in life. Guided meditation to face inner challenges. Now, let's engage in a guided meditation designed to cultivate resilience by helping you meet your inner challenges with courage and kindness. Find a comfortable seat where you can sit upright but relaxed. Close your eyes gently or soften your gaze. Begin by taking a few deep breaths, inhaling slowly through your nose and exhaling fully through your mouth. Feel the support of the chair or floor beneath you. Allow your body to settle and your mind to become calm. Step 1. Grounding in the present moment. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your nostrils. Feel the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. Let your breath be natural and easy. Allow yourself to be fully present in this moment. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. Step 2. Inviting awareness of challenges. Now gently bring to mind a current inner challenge. It could be an emotion, a difficult thought, a painful memory, or a stressful situation. Allow this challenge to arise. In your awareness, without pushing it away or clinging to it, notice how it feels in your body and mind. Observe the sensations, emotions, and thoughts connected to this challenge. Acknowledge its presence with openness. Step 3. Meeting the challenge with kindness. Imagine now that you are holding this challenge gently in your hands. See it as something fragile or heavy, needing care. Invite a sense of kindness toward this part of your experience. Silently say to yourself, I see you. I hold you with kindness. You are not alone. Allow compassion to flow to this challenge like a warm light. Feel this warmth softening any resistance or fear. Step 4. Breathing into strength and courage. Shift your attention back to your breath with each inhale. Imagine drawing in strength and courage with each exhale. Release tension and fear. Silently repeat, breathing in strength, breathing out tension. I am resilient. Let this rhythm ground you in your capacity to face difficulty. Step 5. Recognizing your inner resources. Bring awareness to qualities within you that support resilience. These may include patience, wisdom, love, or endurance. Visualize these qualities as a light within your heart. Feel this light grow with each breath, filling you with confidence. Know that you have the inner resources needed to meet life's challenges. Step 6. Resting in resilience. Rest quietly in this state of calm strength. Allow any emotions or thoughts to come and go without judgment. Be present with your whole experience. Trust in your ability to navigate whatever arises. Closing the meditation when you feel ready, begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Notice the sensations of sitting, the contact with the surface beneath you. Wiggle your fingers and toes gently. Take a deep breath, filling your lungs fully. Exhale slowly. Open your eyes softly, integrating resilience. Meditation into daily life. Building resilience is a lifelong journey supported by regular practice. Consider incorporating these habits. Begin your day with a few minutes of mindful breathing. When stress or emotional difficulty arises, pause and do a brief resilience meditation. Cultivate patience by returning gently to your practice, even when distracted or challenged. Reflect regularly on your inner strengths and moments of courage. Use meditation as a refuge and resource in challenging times. Final. Reflection resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about learning to stay steady and open through life's storms. Meditation offers a powerful path to build this strength from within. Thank you for dedicating this time to nurture your resilience. May you carry this calm strength with you every step of your healing journey.